This is great, and it's been a wonderful partnership. And let me tell you what I brought. And I don't know, I did show this to everybody earlier. My grandmother was, of course, the thing that was the big social thing for the German Russian ladies were sitting around the quilting frame. So this is a quilt that she made for me, and she had 35 grandchildren, and every one of us got a quilt, a handmade quilt. And this is my grandma that made the quilts. She's actually in this wedding picture. She and my grandpa married in January 24th, 1911. And so this is an article about her that was in the paper. And I think the article's fascinating because this is in the middle of the war, and it talks about her family, about her kids. There were 12 kids, 6 boys and 6 girls, and my dad was the youngest of the family. And in it mentions my aunt that was doing sewing for the Red Cross, and one had a victory garden, and I had an uncle that was collecting scrap metal. And one of the things I think that's interesting about this is, they asked her about, it says that there's all 6 boys and 6 girls, all normal, frugal, and industrious American citizens. And Mrs. Adam Lowe says gratefully, "My children don't know what that Russia is. I'm glad they're right here and nowhere else." And so she talks about that, and she says when she went to get her citizenship paper, she says, "I didn't go up there and raise my hand just for nothing. I want to do all I can for my country, and my children are going to do it too." And she was an amazing person. She never did learn how to read or write. Mm-hmm. When you look at her naturalization papers, you can see by her writing that, she never really did learn how to write other than her name. Mm-hmm. But she was an amazing person. The gentleman that was the Attorney General of the state of Nebraska knew my grandma, and he said if that woman had had any kind of education, she could have been president of the United States.
What was her first name?
Catherine Lose. Lose, yes. And so our family has been really great about documenting things. And and this is her when she was getting married, on her wedding day. But and I thought, I can go ahead and scan these for you guys. You don't have to take all your time to do it. But it's their naturalization papers, and then it's kind of a saga of our family because there's pictures of my grandparents, and then each of their 12 kids. 2 of the women did not marry, but the other 10 kids all did, and so it shows kind of their history and all their family members.
Where's your dad in there?
Oh, my dad? Oh, I'm happy to show you my dad.
Hey, right.
Yeah, here's my dad. Let's see.
Show the fan favorite.
Yes, well, fan favorite is right. This is my dad. He was the youngest of the 12. So this is him here, and this is him here. And I think he's about as cute as can be.
I was going to say that little side part.
Yeah, a little And here's the story on this one. They would have a traveling photographer that would come around. Sometimes they had a pony, and you'd get your kids' pictures on the pony, or this one happened to be in the house. And so one time my aunt was being kind of ornery to my dad, and he just said to her, "Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to schnibble you off that picture." Well, that meant take a scissor and cut you off that. I'm going to schnibble you off. So, but they were... they loved each other and were great together. But I think that's the only one of my dad in there. But then, I think there might be one more of my dad in this one. But it's kind of an interesting thing because it does show, we know quite a bit about our family history. Here's my grandparents on their wedding day, and this is on their 50th wedding anniversary. We feel she is beautiful, and he was very handsome, but he looks cross-eyed there. So they kidded him.
They really are beautiful. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and there's so they were pretty, but she was very pretty. And this was their home down in on North 8th Street, down in the North Bottoms.
Is it still there today?
No, actually, the university took this land, and then the interstate was
right over.
Right, yeah. And so where it would be is just kind of like a field now. But here's their family. These are their kids. Of course, my grandparents here, Papa and Grandma, and then their 12 kids. And so, and then these are the outlaws, these are the spouses. And then there is one with all the grandkids. There's 35 grandkids, but we didn't have it in this little book. But anyway, I liked it because it kind of documented the family, and showed their history and, all the different, like this one I love because this is 3 of my aunts when they were little girls sitting on the step, and these little German Russian girls down in the North Bottoms, and... So just kind of fun. And then here's my dad again. He's this cute little guy in the middle there. So, and Mama's boys. But anyway, that's, and then I can't really see upside down, but I think there might be some more of him. But anyway, this was kind of the thing I felt was an important one. And if you read the article, it's quite good. And, you know, my grandma didn't tell us about the hard times in Russia, but I guess some of my older cousins did get to hear the stories. And she mentioned to one of my cousins, she said, you know, she had heard, and she didn't see this herself, but remembers when Pugachev, they, you know, came to the villages, and these were like Cossack types, and they would raid these villages, and they, you know, the women would be raped in front of their husbands, and if the husbands tried to do anything, they would take these long sabers and just, you know, cut them in half, you know, cut right through them. And, you know, so Russia was not a pleasant place, you know, on many occasions. So they didn't really talk about it. And that's why she said, you know, that statement about my kids are here and they're Americans and, you know, they're going to be good citizens. So that's, you know, what this was, why I brought that. And then this is just the other half, and it's my mom's family, and this is my other grandparents in their wedding picture, and their family's history is very interesting as well. So, but I really, this is the one that I think I would like to spend, you know, attention on, because I have the quilt from her. You know, we have her citizenship papers, the article about her in the paper, and like I said, she was amazing. She was an amazing woman. And when I think that she didn't even know how to read and write, but she was. Well, and this is interesting too, because this is our history of when, you know, they left Eisenberg, Germany, and then they went to Norca, and that tells about
was offering land, right?
Right. And this is the census card from downstairs. This is from our collection, and it shows the three brothers, Henry, Peter, Adam, and then their sister, who went on to Portland. This one went to Portland. These three lived in Lincoln. And Adam was my grandfather's my grandfather's father. So this would have been my dad's grandfather. Okay. And so my dad was Adam. He was son of Adam, who was son of Adam. You know, so so that's kind of interesting, because I think it showed our family here in Nebraska, in Lincoln. So that's what I have.
So did your dad then marry a German from Russia as well?
He did, yes, because my mom, this was my mom here, and she was a Hergenraider, and she lived down in North Lincoln.
Teddy bear.
She did, wasn't she cute? And she was a Hergenraider, and her dad was the meat cutter down at the store on the corner of 10th and Charleston.
What's how you spell that?
Hergenraider?
H-E-R-G-E-R.
Enrader. Yeah, and her mother was Sinner, was her maiden name.
R-A-D-E-R?
What's that?
Hey, Hergenraider?
Hergenraider, R-A-D-E-R.
E-R, okay. Just
G-E-N-R-A-D-E-R, yeah. And so her mom was a Sinner, and her dad was a Hergenraider. And they lived on Charleston Street down in the North Bottom. So I'm 3/4 North Bottom, 1/4 South.
Which street on Charleston? Or which is the house still standing?
Yeah, the house is still there. Yeah, 1042 Charleston.
And this is your mother's side?
This is my mom's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So on my dad's side, they were both Norca, German Russians, North Bottoms. My mom was Norca, North Bottoms for her dad, and Kukas, South Bottom, well, North Bottoms too, but Kukas was down there too. And I don't know what the village was up here. Maybe it was
But
Frank or
everybody's a
Walter.
GR.
Everybody's a GR. 3/4 North, 1/4 South. So I get to please everybody.
Exactly.
Because I can say, yeah, my family's South Bottoms, my family's North Bottoms. Yeah. So anyway, that's the deal on that. And my grandpa was the meat cutter at this little grocery store down in 10th and Charleston, where there's now a Quick Shop or Casey's or something. But he made German sausage that was famous all over, and he was great. And this is them too. You know, this is their wedding picture. So she was a Sinner and he was a Hergenraider. So yeah,
I'd be interested to know which house it was. Like,
it's still there.
Is
it's
it?
1042 Charleston. Yeah. So
1042 Charleston.
One of my friends lived on that street.
Oh,
and
really?
So I'm trying to think it, or
yeah.
is it
or it might
towards
have been
the end of the
1108.
block?
Excuse me, it's 1108 because my aunt lived at 1042. It's 1108 Charleston.
Is one
what
of
it
them on the corner, kind of?
No, they're both kind of in the middle of the street.
So then
But this house at 1108 Charleston had a little house behind it. Not really a summer kitchen. It was a little bit bigger than that. because it had a kitchen and then had kind of like a little tiny living room area and a bedroom. But so it was like our summer kitchen was essentially just a kitchen, and most of those summer kitchens were. It was just a little tiny house, kind of like that new movement that's going around, tiny homes.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, I've seen that.
So, but yeah, I'm as GR as it comes. You know, so
You really are.
I really am.
Have you been a primary collector of this, or did you get pull it in from other family members?
Well, you know what? On this, I did make this one. This is the one I did. My mom was 75, turning 75, and she was not really feeling very well, and so on a limited income, and so we did this. My husband and I did this collection along with the DVD for all the grandkids,
Nice.
and then she gave these out as a Christmas gift, and so we put that together for her. Now on these. This one I was responsible for too. This was my sister and my two sister-in-laws and my mom and our girls were hosting a party. We always have a Christmas party, and all the women in our family are secret sisters. And so we had the party that year, and you can see my mom, there's me, and my sisters and my girls. And so we put together this one with the documents and then these pictures. This one was actually from another family member. So our family's big on, you can see we're kind of big on documenting our history, which is great. And I'm really happy about that because my husband's family, on the other hand, doesn't have much, and so he's a little bit wishing his family did. So anyway, so that's what I have.
I guess I just have a couple more questions about
Sure.
the quilt.
Yes.
That's just something special. Not
Oh,
to
it
take
is.
anything away from what you
No,
got here.
no. This is really special. And I'll have to tell you, this is quite worn. You're going to see it's not like in pristine condition because this was on my bed for many years. And it would have been, it's all hand quilted. And this would have been scraps from who knows when. Maybe when, the grandkids, might have donated scraps to my grandma for quilting. And everyone is a little bit different. All the flowers are related to the color of the little sunbonnet Sue. This is kind of an American pattern, no question about that. More of a pioneer one. It's sunbonnet Sue. But, I think, oh gosh, whose pajamas were these? These are somebody's pajamas, and this was somebody's little dress.
So fabric has history.
It does, yeah. And, each one, and this was their social life.
Right.
My grandmother and her friends would
And everybody
sit around
helped. So there's a lot of people that actually went into the production of this, and
Yes.
she would have
Her
helped
friends.
other people make theirs.
Exactly. They would have had. She
Quilting
often
bee or
hosted.
whatever.
Exactly. She often hosted it, and I'll never forget. This is a terrible story, but I'll still
Tell us anyway.
tell you anyway.
We don't have to turn this off.
No, they weren't at my grandma's house, but the ladies were quilting at someone's house, and one of the ladies asked for a drink of water, and the little girl that went to get it was developmentally delayed. Darling little girl, but she had a delay. And so she brings back this glass of water, and the lady says, "Oh my goodness, that's so good." And another lady says, "Well, I'm kind of thirsty too. Can you go get one for me?" Yeah, you're getting it already. So about 3 or 4 of them want it, and they say, "Well, where did you get this? It's so good and cold." And she said, "Well, I went to the bathroom and took it out of the toilet."
Oh my god.
So luckily, my grandma had not been one of them that asked for a drink, but I guess the ladies never asked her for a drink again.
No.
Well, that's how you do it.
That's how you get out. That's how you get
She
out.
was
working.
smarter than you thought.
She wasn't delayed at all.
No,
She was ahead of the rest of them.
Exactly.
That's outstanding. So when do you think this? When do you think this particular one was made?
Oh, this one? Well, I was
Yes.
born in '54, and I remember always having this. I know it was on my bed when I was probably
Well
from the
before
time when I was
1960.
5.
Yeah.
On. So it'd be pre-60. Yeah, pre-1960.
Excellent.
So, but yeah.
And there's you mentioned something about how everybody got one of these.
Everyone got one.
Everyone
Of course,
of your
everyone was different
cousins,
patterns.
or everyone
Yes.
So not everyone had the sunbonnet.
Oh,
suit
no.
one.
We each, there's 35 first cousins. My grandma had 35 grandkids. Everyone got their own special quilt.
That's so nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, yeah. They were busy gals.
So they were making, and they weren't just doing this for your family. They were doing it
For
for
us,
theirs. So
yes.
there's literally hundreds
Yes.
of quilts that
Yes.
dispersed.
Through this group of ladies. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
and then they were baking bread and they were doing all
Yeah,
the
that's
cleaning.
that's a serious socialization.
Yeah, that's what I
Right?
was just thinking. I was like, what else would she, you know?
Yeah.
They got together more than once a week.
Oh yeah.
And this is what they did.
This is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they sure did.
So there's have you? This is sort of off the wall, but I'm sure you're aware of the Quilt Museum here.
I
Right?
am.
And are they aware of things like this locally,
Well, you
or
know,
do they have a different focus?
Well, I just went out there about 3 weeks ago for a meeting that we're both, HSGR and the Quilt Study Center, are both part of this Lincoln Attractions group. And so I went out there we had our lunch meeting out there. And their executive director and I, oh, are you head now?
I gotta go pick up Charlie.
Okay, thank you. You're the best. I really appreciate it. See you on tomorrow, I guess. Anyway, I had met their executive director at a Sheldon exhibit that we have. We have the Things Speak exhibit at Sheldon.
I've seen the banner flying.
Well, we have 6 items down there. They have some things as well at the exhibit. And so we met each other there, and then again at their luncheon out at her place. And she said, well, let's see if we can partner. So our plan is to have a quilt show next spring, and then to ask them for advice and to seek their help, you know. And then I think once they see that some of the kinds of things we have, maybe they'll be interested in asking to display something that we have.
Fabulous.
I don't know, you know.
Well, it's the way one museum works with another. You
Exactly.
know more about this than I
Right.
do, but I just had
Yeah.
to ask. Since
Well, and you know, partnerships are everything, and we so appreciate this partnership with the University History Department. We guys, I mean, we love this, and we're really so excited that we got to be a part of this and be able to host this. And so, thank you.
Timing is right with Dr. Steinecker doing
Yes.
it. And he's.
Yeah.
Did you come here when you were a student of his? Have you taken a class with Dr. Steinecker?
Yeah, well, I was in the Holocaust one.
With me. You didn't
Yep.
come here.
Yeah.
The German history class I was
Yeah.
in a couple years
Yeah.
ago. He comes down.
Yes.
Because I think he still makes time to do it once a year when he can. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
So he's really fun.
he
He's really-
is, yeah, yep. And I had just been named. Well, I was office manager at that time when the class came, but then at convention I became executive director. But I had only been here about maybe 2-3 weeks when the class came last spring, and so we got to talking and more. And yeah, you come on down. We'd love to do that. We'd love to partner with you. And so that's been a really fun thing. And to come to your class and just see how you guys have developed and taken this on and done such a wonderful job.
Well, thank
Kudos
you.
to you guys. Really good. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay.
That's what I have.
Well, I'm
And
sure
so-
I don't know that